Hi, ladies. Cheers.
Cheers.
So welcome everybody to our first property podcast. I'd like to introduce everybody. So to my right is Claire Bilton.
Hello.
And down below is Linda Stringer.
Hi.
So basically in our first podcast, we are going to introduce ourselves, where we have all come from in the estate agency industry, and how and why we joined EXP. So do you want to go first, Linda?
I'll take it away. So, hi, I'm Linda Stringer, and my background is that I worked for the largest independent estate agency in the UK, otherwise known as Spicer Heart. Had a fantastic 10 years there. I did have a short stint out doing recruitment, which is horrible. But I did meet my other half doing that, so I can't say it was too horrible. But yeah, so I did 10 years in Hillsborough branch of Haybrook. Absolutely loved it. Knew that I wanted to be an estate agent. I gave up my job in property for a building firm. I went bricklaying or anything like that, but I was in customer service and put my CV out there and I got a job. So I've absolutely loved it. I've worked from the bottom up and became a valuer, and that's my passion. I love going out and meeting new people, getting the properties on the market. And then when it came to August 2020, I joined EXP, and it was just after the pandemic, the lockdown and everything. I think everybody had a bit of time to think about things. And there's more to life than working the hours that I was working for the company. So I decided to look at other options. There was a guy actually that had been in contact with me from another company. It was a self-employed job, and I just thought, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do self-employed. And then EXP spoke with Adam, and I just thought, well, it's now or never. So off I went, and I can honestly say I have never, ever looked back. So here I am.
Did you speak directly to Adam, or did you see the model before, like on LinkedIn and stuff? Or did
No,
you...
not really. It was actually Easy Property that first approached me back in October, and I just said no. Weren't a massive fan of the brand and things like that. And then when I knew that I wanted to leave, and I didn't want to go and work for another brand, because I thought, well, it's just the same shit, different day. I don't want to go and do it again for somebody else. EXP was something that came up when I was delving into which other ones were out there, because there's Keller Williams, there's quite a few different self-employed models in there. And when I spoke with Adam, the biggest thing about it was it would be my name, which would then, of course, mean that I weren't working for any other brand. I would be working for me and my name. So for me, that was just an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah. And how are you finding it now? Like now how far are you in? 18 months?
Yeah, roughly. So I started August 2020. And I just love it. I've got the time for myself. I've got the time for my fella. I've got the time for my 2 dogs, but I've also got the time for my clients. And that was one of the biggest things when I got brought back early during the furlough scheme. I was running around covering 5 different branches, not spending any time with people. And when somebody's putting the trust in you to sell the house, it's massive. So I couldn't get my head around it. So hence the reason now I only deal with so many clients at any one time, and it's been so well received. People just love the fact that you've got that time to spend with people. Well, everybody wants to be interested in it, don't they? So moving house is massive, isn't it? It's the biggest thing, one of the biggest and stressful things that you can do. So having somebody like we are, like they're by your side the whole time, it's amazing.
Yeah. How many properties do you look after at one time? Like I personally look after a couple. I know Claire does the masses. What do you do?
Personally, I only have up to 10 for sale at any one time, because I've always got roughly between 18 and 25 going through. So I deal with everything from start to finish. I don't have a progressor or anything. So dealing with that volume of the obviously going through the conveyancing process is the tough bit, so that takes up quite a lot of time. So the for sale bit, I only have up to 10 at any one time. That's of course if I don't take any further employment on or anything this year, but that's what I've done last year.
Cool. Claire, got any questions for Linda?
We cover quite similar markets, me and Linda. We're all about the middle market. We all love a 3-bed semi, and that tends to be kind of like where I'm quite comfortable. And Daisy, you're a completely different entity because you go proper high end and bougie. So it's quite nice because Linda does mid-market like me, but probably not the volume. You do the high end. So I think it's a really nice mix of the three of us because we've all got such different markets that we cover and experiences. But she's still loving it, and she's just had 2 weeks off on holiday here, Linda.
I have indeed. I've just come back from Tenerife. So you can actually have a holiday and still run a business. It works just fine.
I think that's what scares a lot of people is like, how am I going to step away from the office? Who's going to do this? But proof's in the pudding because you've just had 2 beautiful weeks off.
I have indeed. I've took my laptop with me. My clients know they can always get hold of me. I do loads and loads of stuff off WhatsApp. So it's been lovely. I've done my, like every Wednesday I update everybody that's going through the conveyancing process. So I've still done that. And it's worked really, really well. I've managed to get 3 dates for when I come back. Obviously, I'm back now. So it's just been, I've delved into it when I've needed to. And it was stressful before I went, I'll be honest. But actually, once you're there, aren't you? So just get on with it.
A lot of it's about communication, isn't it? Like, of course, they know you, like all our clients know us. When you say to them, I'm going on holiday, most of them are like, oh, have an amazing time. They're not like, oh, when are you coming back?
I know, yeah, exactly. And to be honest, at the physical viewings, I got somebody that would just go and do those for me. I went to see her. She's a good friend of mine. Gave her that, I told my clients this was what was happening. They've been absolutely fine. And I think in the end, she's done a few viewings for me, but it's worked out just nice because I've sort of diminished my pipeline before I went, kind of thing. And then I've come back today and I've got another 2 on. So it's all good.
And what area are you in again?
So I cover Sheffield and Rotherham.
Okay.
Quite a big patch, a lot to go at, loads of different properties. Like I said, if I wanted to get into the high end, which I don't think I could, to be honest, I'm the
same.
I think I could. But there's definitely those kind of properties here. It's just that I don't know. I guess you get on with who you get on with, don't you? So.
It's part of my picture evaluation.
Claire, you want to go?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, who are you, Claire?
So I'm going to say Lincolnshire because I want to be a bit posh today, but the reality is I cover Scunthorpe. So I'm a little bit of a wayward one. I like to pitch my 10 in 3 different areas just in case one of the end of market goes down. So I've got a backup for my backup. So predominantly I cover Scunthorpe, but then I head out to the outer skirts of Brigg and those surrounding villages. And I do a little bit of wee dabbling in like Grimsby and Barton. So I do put some miles on my car, I'm not going to lie. I think I drove like 42 minutes for evaluation the other day, and that's not the furthest one I've been to, but it was a good fee and it was a mega property. So if it's a recommendation, I will sort of travel out of area. But like Linda, I started in August 2020, literally 2 weeks after Linda, actually, because I was stalking her quite heavily just to see what she was doing, how she was launching, and that's the great thing about the module is you've got like so much support and everyone's so nice and so helpful, and it is so scary. I think that was one of my biggest fears. I am quite a spontaneous person, and I literally woke up on Friday and thought, I'm going to hand my notice in today. And that's what happened on the Monday. I went and bought a car on the weekend. I walked into my job on the Monday and I handed my notice in. With nothing to go to, no job, no real idea, to be honest with you, which way I was going to swing. And EXP came about for me because I had an interview with a well-known online coloured estate agency. and he was lovely. And I'll be honest with you, I did put him through his paces, but my heart sank when I came out of that interview. And I cried. I just sat in my car and cried for a good half an hour thinking, what the hell am I going to do? And for me, the reason I left High Street was because the people factor came out of it. I couldn't ethically sell a product that I no longer believed in. And that's basically what it came down to. That's what pushed me over the edge. I feel like I was maneuvered into a position I wasn't any longer comfortable with, taking on, pretty much like you, Linda, multiple offices, on the road all day, listing machine. There was no time for people. So I jumped with no job, and then eventually got on with Adam and started up. And I'm not going to lie, those first few weeks, I am not going to sugarcoat it. It was hard. It was terrifying, difficult, painstakingly. The work, blood, sweat and tears was incredible. But I am 18 months in now, and it's going very, very, very well, to be honest with you.
Life-changing.
Yeah, it was life-changing. So I'm just sat in my new house. I moved on Friday. So I sold my little 3-bed semi. And I bought a nice big detached open plan house. And I've been able to sort my mum out because I've just lost my dad. So financially, she's completely secure now. You know, my little boy needed a tutor because he struggles with school. I've been able to do that. It has been nothing short of life-changing what this model, going self-employed and doing what I'm doing, has brought. It's been incredible. I couldn't even begin to dream of not just the money that I'm making, but the differences in people's lives that I'm doing as well. And I think that's lovely. You know, I went to evaluation yesterday and they just lost their mum, and the sister was crying. And I sat there and cried. You know, we was both blubbering our hearts out on this valuation. And I just think, you know, people are important, and knowing people's circumstances is like a really, you know, integral part of the job and who I am as a person. And, you know, that's, for me, that's why I left. And, you know, having that accountability, because it is your name, but also like the support I've had from you girls, especially Adam Day, you know, everyone's behind you, because I think unlike that competitiveness and that whole look at my pie chart, aren't I fantastic, that the high street do, we all just want to see everyone succeed. So we all share this best practice. And I don't know if you guys find it, that we're always constantly like bouncing ideas off of each other. So yeah, 18 months in and still very, very, very much enjoying it. Like Daisy said, I am quite a volume agent, shall we say, only because I don't know when to say no. So I tend to, I got 46 under offer at the moment, just over 100 grand in the pipeline. And since I started, I've banked about 232k off EXP. So it's been mega.
Amazing.
That's like, you're working for the high street. That's a good 6-7 years worth of wages in a year. So yeah, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, you've done amazing. Like, you're just inspirational, Claire, and you, Linda. I'm like newbie.
So tell us your reasons then, Daisy, because obviously you are a bit newer to the scene.
Yeah, so I joined EXP in June 2021. So I didn't start doing estate agency from like a really young age. I've only been doing it for 4 years, so not as long as everybody else at all, where everybody else has gone through, you know, all the different avenues. I haven't done that. I worked, well, I was a nurse, and not going to go into the NHS, but I'm not doing that anymore. And then I accidentally found a estate agency and moved up the ranks quite quickly in a branch, and then got promised a job of management, and then it got given to somebody else because basically somebody played up because they wanted it because they've been there longer. And I just left, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I purely accidentally found EXP.
I can't believe that you both left your jobs without another job. So brave.
I think you haven't got really any choice other than to put everything you've got into it and try and succeed, though, because you don't really have a backup, and it is scary. I mean, it nearly caused a divorce in my house. I don't know how your husband took it, Daisy, but mine did not go down well.
Well, all my family said, if you don't do it now, when are you ever going to do it? And if you do it and you fail for whatever reason, you can still go back and be an estate agent and get 40-45 grand. But if you don't do it now that you're like 35, when are you going to do it? So I just did it. And I spoke to Adam Adam Day, and then I had a couple of days, and then I just said, yeah, I'm going to do it, and did it. And the first couple of weeks, with all like, all this like technical stuff you have to do, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing, like I'm freaking out. And obviously you've got Liv and Lauren were like fantastic, and I know Tori's back now. And then yeah, I'm slightly different to you guys, and I've fallen into the high end also completely by accident, where my properties seem to be 350 plus, 350 to 1.2 mil. And then I've got 7 properties on the books at the minute, but because they're higher end clients with bigger monetary values, I have to dedicate maybe a lot more time than if I did like the masses, because they're that type of client. But it also means that I can sell one that maybe would equal like 4 of Claire's. I don't know. It all depends on fee, doesn't it, I guess? But that's the way I do it. I was never very good at the property marketing when I was, when you go on like the courses when you're taken around when you work in an estate agency, and I could not take the photos. Absolutely the worst things you've ever seen in your life. So that was one of my things, is that I have a professional come out with me. So I take like a whole team, like I'm on an episode of Country File, and just all rock up to the house and like do the marketing, and then I give them the ideas and then they roll with them. But I don't know whether that's given me the name of being more of a bougie agent. But there's local agents in my town that spoke to one of my vendors, and he said, oh, by the way, she's really expensive. Well, I cost the same amount as them, but I don't have a massive office with a massive team that I have to look after. So I can do it for the same price, but because the money's coming to me, not to a massive office, and I'm not just getting like 75 quid, I'm getting like 8 grand for doing the same job, basically. So that
even more when you cap out as well.
Oh yeah, I'm a long way from capping. But yeah,
I'm hopefully nearly there.
If I knew my figures, then I might know if I'm nearly there. I don't know.
I love that, Linda. I asked Linda earlier, it's like, Linda Lou, what's your pipeline? She's like, I don't know. It's great. I'm borderline obsessed with mine. I check it every week, but I love that because you can be as anal or as relaxed as you want to be with this model. And Linda, I love watching you on Facebook and like you going out with the dogs and you're just having like a really good time with it as well. And you earn a good living and you just seem proper chill and just dead happy. I love it.
It's that whole, I mean, now if you think about it, especially after the pandemic and homeworking and all that kind of jazz, imagine getting up. Me and my other half used to get up at 6:30, leave the house in separate cars, go and queue on the parkway, go to the gym, say hello at the gym, go get to work for like 8:30, sit in this box, obviously, there's the box, the office, go out on my valuations, go back to the box, stay in the box until 6 o'clock, and then head back again. I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense anymore. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I am so much happier mentally than ever. Just being able to plan my own diary. It's massive.
And I think that's a big thing, isn't it, to get your head around, that you don't wake up to this diary that's been planned out by a team or somebody that's been on the phone and you're thinking, where am I going today? Oh, right. Like, because everything comes through you. So you've got complete control of how little, how often, when, where. And I love that. I'm a massive control freak. And I think for me, that was like the biggest draw was actually, yes, I know that I've got to pull in all that business, but I also know it's on my terms. And I think that's a really, really good pull for anyone that is looking, but quite scared to go, self-employed, that it can work and it can work around your lifestyle with the kids. I bet, Daisy, do you do school runs now? I think that's, when's the last time you did a school run working for the corporate or the high street? Can't tell you how many Christmas plays, the guilt of missing my son's Christmas play because evaluation came first. It's mental how you prioritise these big companies that inevitably don't care. The day that you leave, you're dead to them.
But they still watch you now that you're on your own. They're watching.
They laugh at first. Yeah, they do. They laugh at first that you dared to leave. Then they'll hate on you. Then they'll try and imitate. But yeah, they watch. Of course they do.
Then the other ones offer you a job and you say, no, I'm happy where I am, thank you. And they can't believe that you've turned them down. But you're happy, Claire, aren't you? Like now you're...
Oh God, yeah, I'm really happy. Like touch wood, I just kind of like waiting for my bubble to pop a little bit. Everything is going so well with work, with home, apart from obviously the recent loss of my dad, which was pretty catastrophic. But the flip side of that is that he was the one that really pushed me to do this. He was like, you just don't seem happy working in your job. Just go for it. You know what you're doing. You're talented. Just do it, Claire. What have you got to lose? He always pushed me so hard. And it was great because he got to see, like, even on his deathbed, it's really morbid, so I'm really sorry, but even on his deathbed, he was going, where's Claire Bilton? Claire Bilton Bespoke. And he had delirium, bless him, but it was still in his head because he was so proud. And, you know, he pushed me so hard to be better and to be more. So, yeah, I am really, really happy. You know, the kids are doing well. I see more of them. I work long days. I tend to work over 7 days, but less hours. So it's completely flexible. I'm going swimming tomorrow with my son. Then I'm off to a Val. Then I'll come home and do Sunday dinner. And it's just like a proper well-rounded day. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. And also, even though you're on your own and, you know, it's your name above the door and it's your business, I don't think people understand how much you feel like a community and like a family until you're in it. Because I know I speak to you, Claire, every single day. I speak to Linda, right. I speak to Ian Wynne-Jones all the time, Scott Gunn. Like, you feel like you're with people, but you're not with people. So even when you need someone, there's always somebody there. And it's not like, you can't walk down your high street and go into whatever they're called and say, can you help me out because I'm struggling with this listing? But on here, you can ring somebody up and say, I've got this grade 2 listed building. It's got this on it. I don't know what this means. And somebody will know, or I'm having trouble with this. I just think it is the best thing that has come to a estate agency in like forever.
Yeah, I think with me, it was a massive culture shock. I just assumed that when I was coming on with its model, you know, it'd be me, they provide me with the software and off I merry well go. But the culture of this company is insane. You know, we're also encouraging, the Christmas do was so bougie and amazing.
Oh, it was so good.
It was
so good.
You didn't last till the end, Linda.
Yeah, you went home.
There's a reason for that.
But do you know what I mean? The culture is everyone is just so encouraging and so knowledgeable. And that's for me, when I came in, I looked at Keller Williams, I looked at X, Y, and Z. The reason I went with this particular model is because of the bit of stringent interviewing process that Adam Day has. He wants good, successful, but talented and knowledgeable people working in this industry, because the name means a lot and we don't want to liquidize that or make it weaker by having cowboys in there. So every single person you turn to, like the experiences that you can pull on, I've met people that I'd never thought in a million years that I'd meet in this industry. And, you know, and going to that Christmas do and hearing those names and seeing the awards, it was like, I was in shock, complete, like an utter awe of some of these guys. Like Ian Wynne-Jones, my God, that guy is insane. He's like absolutely beast in his market. He's untouchable.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And thank you very much, Adam Day. Cheers to you.
Thank you, Adam.
Cheers, Adam.
So I think episode 2, we've got the man himself, Mr. Ian Wynne-Jones, joining us, or IWJ. So it'll be really interesting to see what he has got to say and how he has got a nearly £300,000 pipeline.
I mean, he makes how much, doesn't he? What we doing? I mean, that's insane. Like the level of stock and properties and like the management side of that, it's just so slick what he does. to have that much of a pipeline and juggling what he does. He's got to have some secrets up his
all
sleeve.
low end. Or well, I know he's had the odd few come on recently, but it's nearly all like the lower end, and he just like smashes them out. It's just amazing.
I can't wait to hear why and how and everything else from him, because he's obviously came on board with EXP since me and Claire have been here as well, haven't they? So, and he was just like went, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie when I say,
I know, what's going on?
Yeah, I stalk that Thursday meeting and I look at those figures and I'm like, shit, he's above me again.
It's been, so people that don't, who aren't part of EXP, who are listening or watching us, Adam Day puts the figures out every Thursday, isn't it? Thursday or Friday. And it will say how many listings, so people that have got like 5+ listings, 4+ in that week, and then also people's pipeline, so 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and then IWJ, Mr. Ian,
always at the top,
always on his own at the top, on the listings usually, and on the pipeline. So that's good as well, because you still got that like little bit of competition as well. Even if it's yourself, I'm like, I have to be at least on that page,
on the list, yeah.
Somewhere.
I do get narky if I'm not on the list on a weekly basis. I know it seems really petty, but if I'm like, I was looking for my own the other day and I was like, oh, no listings. But I know I had. I think I'd just gone past the deadline. So I'm coming for everyone this week because I've smashed it.
Perfect. Anybody wanna add anything else? I know this is the first one, so everybody who's listening, if it sounds a bit rusty, it's because we've never done this before.
I think it was just nice to kind of get especially a female's perspective out there. You know, it is quite a male dominated job, and it's nice to kind of hear from the ladies and see how we're doing it and what sort of, you know, objections we come up against as women in the industry as well as estate agents. So yeah, it'd been really nice to sort of go on to episode 2 and see what we can bring on the table and help people, hopefully.
Yeah. So
exciting times.
We are all on all the social platforms. So I will try to, with all my technical knowledge, add our social media channels. So I know myself, Linda and Claire basically all do loads and loads of socials. So you can follow us on there if you want to know more about us. Also on LinkedIn, and you can join us next week with episode 2 with Mr. IWJ himself.
Amazing. Thanks so much.
Thanks, ladies.